Right, so welcome to the new video. In January, I made a few predictions. So I thought since we're coming towards the end of March, it might be nice to have a look back at the predictions I made and see what was right, what was wrong, and perhaps why. So let's start with the S&P 500. It was going up in a parallel channel, and it kind of hit the top of the parallel channel. So it has done that before in the past, going back quite a long way there. 2018 was at the top. 2022 hit the top of the channel, and it's been banging its head against the top of the channel. It did not manage to break up outside, so it looks as though now it could have a bit of a downside potential here. If I switch to the daily chart, yeah, I've put the RSI on at the bottom, so we could see that even though as it was sort of creeping up higher and higher, and at the end of January it got to the all-time high, the RSI was not particularly overbought. And now that we've gone down now, Friday the 20th of March there, that's actually quite low on the RSI. So I'd expect a little bit of a bounce. I'd expect a bit of support here. It might go back, might manage to get back. If it's got enough oxygen, it can get back. So I've drawn a blue line there of what I think it could do. And ultimately, I think we could be going down, nearly 9%. Why? Because if you go back here, so that there is a key zone for me. All these highs here, I think that will turn into support. So am I going to short this? I just want to wait to see what's going to happen for a day or two. See where that's going to go. If it does go up, then yeah, I'm going to short that. Yeah, see if I can make sort of 9% out of that. That wouldn't be bad. Do I think he can get back? I don't actually. I really don't. So that's my prediction for the next sort of 6 months. I think we're going to go down to this level here. What about 6,100 and something? And sort of chop sideways for a bit. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Oil, fantastic oil here. So oil's been fantastic because when Maduro was captured, kidnapped, I started to accumulate oil. I accumulated a lot of oil during January and just sort of sat on it. And let's be honest, when you send 2 aircraft carrier strike groups to the Persian Gulf, you're not there to top up on the tan. You're actually there to do something. So it was a bit of a Trump play, that was. We knew Trump was going to do something there. I was lucky enough to get out where it sort of peaked here, this huge peak up here, which was nice. And I've put here, once the war is resolved, think about shorting oil. So there is actually an ETF where you can short that in euros if you don't want to be paying conversion fees into dollars. Would I short that now? Oh my gosh, no. Could you imagine if Iran somehow managed to sink a tanker or hit a US carrier with a missile or whatever? I don't think it's likely. I don't think that's likely. Or what if they had some sort of terrorist cell that did something somewhere in a major capital in the West? You know, that oil would spike again. So no, I wouldn't go short on that yet. Would I buy it? No. So I've done very nicely out of oil. Thank you very much. And I'm just watching this from the sidelines, just because it doesn't depend on the analysis of the chart. It just depends on what the heck is going to happen thousands of miles away, and that's very unpredictable. So no, I'm not going to get involved in that. But yeah, once the war looks to be coming to a conclusion, or if there seems to be a change of the regime, or a back down, or a treaty, or something, then yeah, I would start to short it, and I suspect it would go back to that orange line that I've drawn in there. It'd be some sort of support. It might bounce around there. So I don't know. You could be looking at a 30% gain if you decided to short oil. It doesn't always work that way though, because when you short something, what you don't want is volatility, because that kind of eats away at your gains. Okay, we'll see. Bitcoin there. Bitcoin, it's having a fake out. It's having a sort of it's grinding upwards. I don't have any Bitcoin, not holding any. If it does sort of get to that level there, I'll start to go short. If it goes to that second level there, I'll definitely sort of go short on it, because I think that the long-term trend is definitely downwards. So I think we're going down to about 40,000. That hasn't changed. My prediction hasn't changed despite this sort of this rally here. How long is that? From there to there, 44 bars. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay. Be patient. Be patient on Bitcoin. Um, if you wanted to get rich quick off Bitcoin, I think you have to buy, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. So be patient on that and just wait to see what happens with this rally, because I do ultimately think it's going down to 40,000, like I say. So once it hits sort of 40,000, if it gets there, I'll start to accumulate Bitcoin. Gold. So gold, yeah, each time gold sort of formed a peak, it backed down a bit, it sort of fell away. So here, for example, it formed the peak here, and then it sort of chopped around sideways for a bit. Okay, fair enough. Here, it kind of formed the peak, and then it chopped around, and it was quite difficult for it to get through the next level. So what happened? What happened with gold is it went absolutely crazy at the end of January. Absolutely crazy. It stopped being a safe haven asset. Serious institutions and funds take it, very seriously. It's a safe haven asset, and you put your money there when the whole world is falling apart. And it became kind of like a meme coin, like a crypto coin kind of type situation. It blew off at the top, crashed. Um, no, I mean, I would definitely not buy gold until either it goes through those three levels of resistance there, or if it comes down, if it can get down a bit. You could even make an argument here that, this is the trend there. You could say, listen, that's the trend there. It's closed a day below that trend. What's going to happen to it next? I don't know, but I get the impression it could go low. It could go low. So there are a couple of scenarios here. It could sort of chop around here and then go down, or it could just go straight down here, chop around. I'm not so sure if it would actually get down to this lower level here, because I've written here, load the boat. Gold is on sale. If it gets down to that level, I think that's fair enough. Gold is on sale. Go ahead and fill your boots with that. Okay, Santander. So this is just because I'm in Spain. Santander got a lovely parallel channel in orange going upwards. I've filled up my chart. Sorry about the mess with the blue levels there. Okay, fair enough. And it sort of blazed through them on the upwards trajectory there. It's blazed all the way through it. Even the orange sort of parallel channel was not enough to contain it, and it blazed sort of through that as well. And then Donald Trump did what he did with his friend Benjamin there in the Middle East, and it's crashed down. That's a funny one for me, because a war in the Middle East is not necessarily bad for a bank in Spain. So I think it's like an emotional reaction. It's emotional, and it's kind of the triggering event. Is this going to screw up the economy? If the economy's screwed up, are people going to lose their jobs? Are they going to stop paying back their credit cards, their personal loans, their mortgages? So I think that's why the banking sector has been affected by that. And we'll see in a minute with my next one, Generali, but we'll see. That's quite worrying to me. That's quite worrying that it hasn't managed to get either get back into the orange parallel channel, or at least sort of touch it there. It did. Well, no, I'm wrong there actually, because it did there. It managed to get back inside. So you would have expected there. It's gotten back inside where it needs to go. Okay, back to the races. Off we go. Off we go. Back to the races, and it would do something like that. It didn't. It didn't. So it seems to have the stuffing knocked out of it somewhat, and it's getting down here. I'm looking at my next level here. This blue line here, somewhere around there. So it's got another 8%. It could fall, the RSI is beginning to head into oversold territory, to be honest. It's quite low. It's a lot of fear out there. What would change? What would change if we could get above the red line and hold it, hold above the red line? That would be quite bullish. If we could get above this blue line and hold above that blue line, that would also be quite bullish. So I think, to be honest, I'm talking about the same thing where I talk about the blue and the red lines. So if we can sort of occupy this space here, that would be quite bullish. The breakdown would be off. But what I think could happen is I think we're going to head down to somewhere sort of around in this zone here, and then maybe have a bit of a bounce. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. That's just a technical analysis of it. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know whether Santander is holding on to a lot of unsecured personal debt. I haven't looked into the mortgage book. So this is just technical analysis. We'll see. I mean, I assume it's a solid bank. It's a systemic bank here in Spain. So I assume, I don't know, but you know, the market can stay irrational for quite a long time, can't it? We'll see. We'll see what happens there. Generali. So Generali is the sort of opposite side of that coin there. Same thing going off here with Generali. I wish I hadn't clicked on that. I've rodded it. Right. So let's have a look at Generali. I fixed it. I don't know why my internet keeps freezing. Perhaps they're doing maintenance at the weekend. Okay. So same sort of situation with Banco Santander, that it was blazing through upwards and to the right in this parallel channel. Fantastic. Happy days. The difference is that when it broke down because of the war, it was a bit of a trigger. Look how quickly it managed to get back up into the channel. I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit worried that it's sort of come back down again to test this first red line I've drawn here, this first sort of level here, and it's gone through that. Maybe, you know, maybe it could go as low as there. That's your line there, which indeed it did touch there on that day there, whatever day that was, 9th of March. See what happens here. You know, we might see a situation where it comes down here and then gets a bit of a bounce. I would hope so. I would hope so, because I don't see how Generali's business has changed because of a war in the Persian Gulf, but we'll see. You know, famous last words. Maybe the whole economy is now rogered for 2 or 3 years. Coming up. If we can't seem to hang on to these levels here, where are we going with this? Where are we going? Probably somewhere down there to that kind of level there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. What would that be if we broke down through there to there? Yeah. Okay. So maybe the market was overcooked. You know, we saw that with the S&P. The market was overcooked, coming to the top of the parallel, and it just needed to get some oxygen, take a breather. You know, maybe with Santander, maybe with Generali, the same thing would happen, but the business hasn't changed. Solid company, solid, absolutely solid, good results, pays a dividend. That's coming up in May. So I don't know. I just think that a little less drama, a little bit less drama will be good. If Donald Trump is watching me, less drama, please. And we'll see what's going to happen. You know, is it going to recover? Is it going to chop, or is it going to fall? I can't tell you. I can't tell you that. But I don't have any Generali shares at the moment, so I kind of want it to fall back down a little bit, and then I can get involved. But no, I wouldn't do anything with this at the moment. I wouldn't buy it, and I wouldn't short it. So there we go. I believe that's everything here. The one that gets my most attention is the crude oil. So crude oil could change in a single news conference. Crude oil could be absolutely fantastic. Gold as well. Gold could be a good one. Gold could go on sale, basically. If gold went on sale, I would start to buy it there. Gold on sale. So it's one of those cases that we're in March, nearly April. Am I going to do much trading? Probably not. Probably not going to do much trading now. We'll see how things go for a month or two, and what I can do. But I don't know, with the oil trade at the beginning of the year, I don't really feel much pressure to get involved in the markets. I feel that I've kind of done my year's work already. Um, got my profit for the year, so if I see an opportunity, I'll go for it. But if not, no, fair enough. So I hope that helps. I'll come back in a few months and review this review video to see what happened, but we'll see. I don't feel any pressure, and what will be will be.